What if your political hero was on the brink of being exposed? Tonight, we dive into Trump's fight over the Epstein grand jury transcripts and reveal why even his fiercest supporters feel betrayed.
I don't understand why the Jeffrey Epstein case would be of interest to anybody. It's pretty boring stuff.
It's July 2025. 6 years since Jeffrey Epstein died under suspicious circumstances. 6 years since we were promised answers, yet here we are, still trapped in silence. Secrets so explosive, so damning, they forced even presidents into silence. What's buried inside those Epstein files, and who today is powerful enough to keep the truth locked away? We all know who Epstein was, a predator, yes, but also a gatekeeper, a man connected to billionaires, royals, and presidents. When he died in 2019, the public expected a reckoning. What we got instead was ink-black silence. Documents are sealed, files redacted, names omitted. A so-called client list is either a myth or the most protected secret in modern political history. If it doesn't exist, why won't they say it plainly? If it does, why fear it so much? Is this bureaucratic caution or calculated protection? In February 2025, pressure finally cracked the wall. The DOJ released a batch of files, heavily redacted again. Names shielded, connections blurred, no clarity, no closure. The outrage reignited instantly. Then came the shock. On July 17th, former President Donald Trump took to the podium. He promised to force the unsealing of grand jury testimony tied to Epstein. Headlines exploded. Was the truth finally coming? But nothing happened. No release, no follow-up, no answers. Who defies even a former president? Was this a final act of defiance or a masterful distraction? If you think Epstein's story is shocking, wait until you hear this. One man, Frank Morris, a criminal mastermind who planned the impossible, escaped from Alcatraz. Step inside the most daring prison break in history, minute by minute. Click now and uncover the truth. At the center of the silence sits Attorney General Pam Bondi. Her team cites legal constraints and privacy laws. Mike Pence, shockingly aligned with Democrats like Dick Durbin, demands transparency too. But their voices echo in a void. Behind every delay, every blacked-out line, a bigger question grows louder. What are they protecting, and whom? Because if it's just privacy, why does the silence feel like fear? While America hesitates, the world reacts. On July 15th in London, activists lit up the U.S. Embassy with haunting images. Epstein, Trump, the word truth. The message wasn't subtle. Foreign media outlets like The Guardian and Al Jazeera ask what U.S. networks won't. Why the cover-up? Why is international media louder than our own? Who benefits from America's selective silence? The American people are done waiting. A Quinnipiac poll this week revealed that 63% of Americans across party lines disapprove of how Trump handled the Epstein documents. Even within his MAGA base, faith is cracking. And then came the turn no one expected. Elon Musk tweeted, "Release it all. Truth matters." Minutes later, Donald Trump Jr. echoed him. What changed? What danger lurks behind the sealed testimony that even power's own sons now demand daylight? Beneath those posts is a chilling fear. When truth finally emerges, it may change everything. Jeffrey Epstein is gone, but his shadow remains. It stretches through the corridors of power, through media boardrooms and courtrooms, filled with redacted lines. This isn't about a man. It's about what happens when power decides what you're allowed to know, when truth becomes currency, when silence becomes strategy. If these files are harmless, if there's nothing to fear, why not unseal them? Why is truth treated like a threat? Ask yourself, what truth could be worth this much silence? Because if we stop asking, power wins. Share. Speak. Don't look away.